What if I told you that the trendy and, let's be honest, usually pretty expensive green powder sitting in your pantry or blended into your favorite cafe's wellness latte wasn't actually born as a superfood supplement? What if its story begins as just a humble, everyday backyard vegetable? I mean, an ingredient so incredibly common in parts of Asia that it's practically growing over the fence. Well, you're in for a treat, because today's culinary and botanical journey might just change the way you look at your health food aisle forever.
Welcome to this explainer. We're going to trace the absolutely fascinating journey of Moringa. We'll be putting on our hats as food historians, agricultural scientists, and chefs to see exactly how a highly practical, fast-growing tree from home gardens across South and Southeast Asia somehow evolved into a massive global wellness trend.
All right, let's jump right into part one, the Western powder paradox.
So in the US and Europe, Moringa has absolutely exploded as a dehydrated wellness supplement. But if you've only ever seen it as a jar of green dust, seeing the living plant really shatters that illusion. These delicate, bright green tripinnate leaves are the true origin of that product, and they are harvested fresh by millions of people every single day to feed their families.
It's honestly kind of a fascinating ethnobotanical divide, right? Seeing how entirely different cultures interact with the exact same plant. In Western commercial markets, it gets commodified, dried, ground up, and hidden inside a protein ball. But in traditional Asian and African cuisines, it is treated as a foundational whole food vegetable. It's lightly boiled in stews, folded into eggs, and served as just reliable, everyday sustenance.
Which brings us nicely to part two, rooted in traditional food.
Way before the wellness industry ever coined the term superfood, Moringa was quietly doing the heavy lifting in tropical climates, providing rock-solid nutrition where people needed it most. And it's not just about the leaves. The entire tree is literally a culinary treasure trove. It has these gorgeous, fragrant, creamy white flowers that are a springtime delicacy in Bengali cuisine. And then there are the long, triangular seed pods, which are exactly why it's known all over the world as the drumstick tree.
Because this plant is so deeply woven into cultural identities, it goes by a ton of different names. It's the drumstick tree in India. In the Philippines, you hear it called malunggay. Some folks call it the horseradish tree because the roots actually pack a sharp, spicy punch. And in many drought-prone regions, where it genuinely provides crucial nourishment during the dry seasons, it is simply and beautifully known as the tree of life.
So we're talking about a tree that forms the backbone of some seriously iconic regional dishes. Take South Indian sambar, for example. It's a rich lentil stew where those tender drumstick pods are the absolute star of the show. Or in the Philippines, fresh leaves are tossed right into tinola, which is this incredible savory ginger-infused chicken soup. You'll also find it elevating amok, a magnificent steamed fish curry in Cambodia, or adding depth to a sour, spicy kaeng som in Thailand. It's deeply flavorful, intensely practical food.
Moving on to part three, nutrition without the magic.
Okay, time to strip away the marketing hype and look at the actual science. Because honestly, the genuine nutritional profile is impressive enough on its own. The protein-to-energy ratio for this leafy green is just wild. Nearly half of the caloric energy in fresh moringa leaves comes straight from protein. For a leafy vegetable to offer that kind of plant-based protein profile is exceptionally rare, which is exactly why it's such a powerful tool for combating global malnutrition.
Let's put that into a daily perspective for you. A single cup of fresh, chopped moringa leaves delivers 2 full grams of protein, but it only costs you 13 calories. And alongside that low-calorie protein hit, you are getting rich, bioavailable amounts of vitamin C, provitamin A, iron, calcium, and potassium. It's just an absolute powerhouse of essential vitamins and minerals. But, and this is absolutely crucial, we need to be very clear about something. Moringa is not magic. It is not some miracle cure-all that will single-handedly eradicate diseases, and we definitely shouldn't treat it like a pharmaceutical drug. However, when we view it honestly, simply as a highly nutritious, traditional leafy vegetable, it is genuinely impressive and a really fantastic addition to a balanced diet.
All right, part 4, the agricultural miracle. See, moringa isn't just a win for human nutrition, it's a remarkably resilient partner for the planet, which is huge as we face changing climates. This fast-growing tropical perennial is an absolute survivor. It has this thick, whitish-gray, corky bark, and beneath the soil, a super deep taproot system. That allows the tree to store water and thrive in arid, sandy soils where a lot of other food crops would, frankly, just wither and die.
This is exactly why agricultural scientists champion it.
It barely needs water, it grows incredibly fast, we're talking sometimes reaching 10 to 12 meters high, and it bounces back incredibly quickly after being cut. Because of that, home gardeners can harvest fresh leaves year-round. Plus, those deep roots we talked about, they actively help stabilize the soil against erosion. It is pretty much the textbook definition of a climate-resilient crop.
Let's switch gears a bit. Part 5, a chef's perspective.
So we know it's healthy, we know it's sustainable, but how does it actually taste? And more importantly, how can you bring these fresh, vibrant flavors into your own kitchen? Well, if you've never had fresh moringa, the flavor is really delightful but quite distinct. It's herbaceous, earthy, slightly bitter, and a bit peppery. Imagine the sharp bite of fresh arugula mixed with the deep grassiness of matcha green tea. The drumstick pods, on the other hand, are mild and soft, so they perfectly soak up the rich, complex flavors of whatever broth or curry you cook them in.
The real secret here is to treat the fresh leaves just like an aromatic spinach. You can toss the young leaves into a soothing chicken soup, throw them into a quick garlic stir-fry, fold them into scrambled eggs for a super nutrient-dense breakfast, or let them simmer in a rich coconut milk curry. Just one rule of thumb, always add them at the very end of your cooking process. That preserves their vibrant color, that delicate texture, and all that fantastic nutritional value.
Which leads us to part 6, pros, cons, and reality. Okay, before you run out to buy moringa, whether that's fresh leaves or powder, we need to do a quick reality check. There's a massive difference between eating a healthy vegetable as a whole food and consuming heavily concentrated supplements. The pros? Obviously amazing. It's highly nutritious, sustainable, and culinarily rich. But, keeping it real, that slightly bitter taste just isn't for everyone, and fresh leaves can be pretty hard to find in Western supermarkets. Most importantly, while the fresh food is wonderfully safe, highly concentrated powder supplements are often totally overmarketed. So if you're pregnant, nursing, or on medication, definitely consult your doctor before taking concentrated extracts.
Oh, and real quick, before we wrap up, I just have to mention the seeds. They are remarkably useful. Not only do they yield this fantastic, healthy oil known as Ben oil, but get this, crushed moringa seeds actually act as a natural coagulant. Communities use them to purify cloudy water into safe drinking water. I mean, no way, right? It just proves this tree is so much more than some fleeting wellness fad.
At the end of the day, it's really on us as consumers to look past the marketing hype clogging up our social media feeds. When we acknowledge moringa's rich, centuries-old heritage, its brilliance in the kitchen, and its profound agricultural value, we're respecting it for what it truly is. Not a miracle cure, but a sustainable, culturally significant staple that has fed generations and will absolutely continue to do so.
So, I want to leave you with this thought. Knowing its incredible journey from an ordinary, resilient Asian backyard tree to a revered ingredient in both historic kitchens and modern, trendy cafes, will you ever look at that green powder the same way again? Hopefully, this explainer has inspired you to maybe bypass the supplement aisle entirely, head over to your local Asian market, and seek out the fresh leaves. Go experience the true, delicious soul of the drumstick tree for yourself. Keep learning, keep tasting, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.